Gamers, what is going on? I wanted to make a different video here because with Genshin Impact, there's been a lot of drama going on about the end game. There's no end game. There's these content creators like M-Trashed that are just raging 24/7. But I've got a good video for you, okay? I have a good video for you. Today, I want to talk about some of the most fun characters to play. I'm going to give you top 5 for me right now. I'm not going to say they're your top 5, but I want to explain why I think that they're so fun to play. And you should give them a chance. Now, that being said, there may be certain characters that have a similar vibe. An example is, we've got the 4-star Razor. Everyone's saying Sino is the 5-star version. Absolutely. And so if you're looking at someone like Razor, who I would consider an Unga Bunga unit, someone that just attacks wild and rapidly, you might get a similar vibe. So there's a few on the list here that I want to showcase, I want to talk about, and some of them are units that I really like to play, but I haven't fully built on my account yet. So let's get started. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, a turn-based RPG with a ton of different champions to collect. It's free to play and available on PC and mobile. And today, I want to show you my top 3 champions. Champion number 1 is Urost the Soul Cage. Urost can solo the Scarab King, poisoning him bit by bit every time he's attacked, while providing himself with shields and strength, and so he never goes down. For champions 2 and 3, I've got Rotos the Lost Groom and his bride, Siphi. When paired together, she will cleanse all debuffs from Rotos, so you can do crazy stuff like this. These two will take on this team by themselves. I can start doing crazy stuff like this, where I'm taking out one, comboing into another, and little by little I just whittle them down. New players can use my link down below or scan the QR code to get a free Ina, as well as $30 worth of other goodies to get you started with Raid Shadow Legends. But you see that box over there? You gotta click that, open your inventory up, and make sure to collect all the goodies. Also, you can enter to win some awesome prizes by clicking the link down below, downloading Raid Shadow Legends, and going to trickortreat.plarium.com. Link is down below as well, and spinning to win. All you need is your Plarium Raid ID for a chance to win. 1 entry per player per account. Thanks, Raid, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into the content. Alright, so number 1 on the list is going to be Kazuha, because of his ability to bring in enemies and group them, but also slamming and jamming like that is very fun. Now, his ultimate is also super satisfying to use, and when you swirl an element and you have all this going around you, and then you're jumping, and then you're slamming, he's pretty fun. Now, that being said, if you are someone that did get constellations, C1 makes him even more fun, and he's super meta. And if you do get C2, he is one of the most OP units in the game. So it's kind of a win-win sort of thing. One day I would like to get this, but I am going for more characters than damage at this point because there's not really any need to be as strong as this makes you. But I think Kazuha is one of my favorite units. Very popular. Everyone knows this, but I would recommend if you don't have him, get him for meta, but also get him for fun. Now, next one on the list is Keqing. Because of Dendro being implemented into the game, she's quite a bit better, but because she's hitting harder, it changes a major issue I had with her in the past. Now, when using charge attacks, she does a little backstep, and the charge attack damage typically sends enemies forward. And because she didn't hit that hard, there's a lot of times where you would be launching enemies away from you, running out of stamina, and it just didn't feel that great. But now, because of Dendro buffing her so much, a lot of stuff just dies. When you use the Thundering Fury set, it allows you to pretty much spam your burst on cooldown. You can just rotate through your abilities. I've used my E ability, I'm attacking. I can use my burst, that's fun. I can go back into my E ability, and if I go rotate through all of my characters here, and I go back to her, she's pretty much ready to go in her burst again, and it just feels so furious. It feels, like just spam. Honestly, it feels like spam. She's got the charge attacks. I don't know. She finally feels like a ninja to me, the way I kind of envisioned her at the start. Before, it didn't it didn't feel like I was doing enough damage, but now she feels lethal. And she feels like an assassin, she feels like a ninja, and I'm so happy that she's really kind of risen up the ranks, because I know that everyone was calling her F tier before, but I'm a huge fan of Keqing now. She's one of my favorite characters to play, and I liked her back in the day. It's just, unfortunately, she didn't pan out. Everyone was doing melts and vaporize, and she just kind of fell behind. But she was one of the first 5-star units that I got, and one of the first 5-star units that I built. She just kind of sucked. And so it felt bad. But she's made a resurgence. I would highly recommend her. If you've got one on the back burner, you didn't build her because of the past, it's time for Keqing. Now, honorable mention would be Rosaria, because she does feel kind of dashy, similar to Keqing. And so if you don't have Keqing, but you want someone that plays kind of fast and furious, I kind of get that vibe from Rosaria. Now, she's not going to be as good, but she does fit into quite a few comps if you want to do some melt. If you want to do some freeze comps, she's not too bad. I don't think she stands out quite as much as Keqing. I think Keqing really went to the next level, but definitely a fun character to play overall. Now, the next character I wanted to bring up is Beidou and Yunjin, but also Candace. Candace, Yunjin, and Beidou all have some sort of perfect counter mechanic where if you land the timing and you are able to block the attack, you do more damage or you buff your team or whatever it is. I really like the feel of it. The only issue is some enemies, the AI kind of sucks. I actually did a whole video on Beidou and how it's frustrating that enemies don't attack you more in some cases. But against big enemies with telegraphed attacks, let's say a Ruin Sentinel or maybe even a boss like Azhdaha, it actually, you can use this and really practice those timings. It feels very satisfying to play. And with Scaramouche coming, this new boss coming, being able to block one of the hits and tank it can be a very high skill, high fun factor type thing. Her burst ability, Candace, like, they're all fine. It's not really the burst that's fun. It's mostly their elemental skills. Because of that counter mechanic, because of that shielded mechanic, it is fun to play. I just don't know how much effort you want to put into building these characters. It really depends on kind of your teams, but it is something you should try out from time to time. The other thing, too, is depending on the character, like, I think that Beidou as a support gets a lot better with constellations. Like, C2 is almost a must for her to really pop off as a support. Yunjin gets a lot better, but you also need some different units to be supported. So even though they're fun, I would just be cautious that they might not be the best, most meta thing ever. But at the end of the day, it's fun, so who cares? Next up on the list is Chi-Chi. I just love the way that she heals you. I'm just kidding. Now, for the next group, I'm going to mention 2 units once again. I'm going to say Ayaka, and I'm going to say Raiden Shogun. Now, they're completely different units. Michael, why would you put them together? I'm going to call them blenders. People that, when you set them up, you group up the enemies, they all just die. When you use the burst ability of either of these units, it is very furious, it is very powerful, and it feels good. Ayaka is more of a freeze comp where you group everything up, you freeze everything, you slam it, you jam it, and you blend them. Where Raiden Shogun, you do a big AoE and they might die right there. My biggest hit ever is Raiden Shogun using her burst, but then she attacks really furiously after. But these 2 units, if you want to pop something, if you want to blow them up, they're very fun to use. Now, another honorable mention, I don't have Tartaglia, but he's in a niche of his own. It's called, oh my god, the numbers! Look up the child teams with Shang Ling and what he can do. There are so many numbers popping up on screen, so many reactions going. I would be amiss to not recommend at least taking a gander at it. Another honorable mention I want to get to before I get to my final, most fun playstyle is Xiao. He doesn't work for everyone, though. I personally don't like his playstyle myself. I don't like all the plunging attacks. Some people love it. I would look up some videos of him. I would watch him if you don't have him and see if it is for you. Personally, I kind of like get nauseous. I don't like the up and down, but I can understand why this would be one of the most fun playstyles in Genshin. But for me, I'm in a different camp. Now, when I first started playing Genshin Impact and I played Razor and I saw the Unga Bunga potential, I really enjoyed it. It just works with my brain. I like being very furious, attacking quickly, and so he's a very high up honorable mention for Unga Bunga. So Razor's awesome. The only issue is he is a 4-star and he falls off. But some people hate Diluc, and I love him because of that feeling. When you play Diluc and you're able to attack, combo, going into another one, slamming, going into the burst, and essentially being able to rotate back through, I find that so satisfying. With Razor, attacking and slashing, slamming down, there is something about this speed and furiosity that is super satisfying to me. But there's one unit that probably does it better than both of them. I have him on my other account, and that is Arataki Itto. He is one of the most fun units for me because of the slamming and jamming that he does. Now, he's kind of niche in the sense that you need a lot of Geo supports to go with him. You need Zhongli, probably want Goro, or instead of Zhongli, I was doing like Albedo and Goro. You need a couple. But Arataki Itto is the king of satisfying basic attacks, in my opinion. I really like the basic attacks of him, but they don't have the same weight as Arataki Itto. I definitely like Kamisato Ayato if you like that kind of just like rapid fire attacking, but with Arataki Itto, they're big hits. He throws his little Ushi bull, it blows everything up, and then he's just chunking with the two-handed club. There is something about it that it's dopamine. It's complete dopamine. Now, Sino is a little bit more combos than Arataki Itto, and because of Dendro being in the game, he might end up being a little bit more meta in some cases. You can maybe pair him with a couple different people, but Arataki Itto is the king of slam and jam if you want like big satisfying hits, but Sino is more flashy. So any of these Unga Bunga characters, I think they're so fun to play. Like they really are a kind of a notch above, and those are my kind of units that I'm excited about, I'm happy about, I've played, and I can recommend. Are they going to be the best? Probably not, but those are the ones that, you know, I enjoy playing with, and I've been playing with a lot more recently, and that's pretty much it. This game will never be super sweaty. They've already kind of admitted it, and so don't pick based on old tier lists and recommendations of damage. Play for fun. It's all you need in this game. I promise you, once you get to the higher adventure ranks, you'll do enough damage to beat the Spiral Abyss. You can get all those free Primo Gems. You can do all the events. Play this game for fun, because I was doing the Archon quest today. I was doing some fighting and doing all these things with just some fun characters, and I had a good time. And that is what this game is now, is just exploring, doing some quests, enjoying the story, and building up some characters that you find hot and fun. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.